Hello, today is TipTop Tuesday, and the date is January 7th, 2020, and Happy New Year's to everyone. I'm going to invite some friends. So, as I mentioned about, well, a little longer, there was some technical difficulties getting set up. The topic today, and someone's here, I don't know yet who it is, but welcome. The topic today is on hope, and I touched on that last week a little bit, and I have since been thinking a lot about it and what that means. And it has occurred to me, and also I wanted to give the direct quote for Alexander Hamilton, or Alexander Pope, the essayist. He wrote, "Hope springs eternal in the human breast. Man never is, but always to be blessed," which means blessed. "The soul, uneasy and confined from home, rests and expatriates in a life to come." It's interesting you use the word expatriates. But anyway, I'm digressing. So I started meditating on the word hope and what does that mean? And it has occurred to me that, as I think I mentioned, there's two types of hope. And I think the word needs to be cleaned up. Hope's such a gray word. I call them gray when people have their own definition of it. And I've recognized that when we are in our hearts with hope, then it's a lot cleaner. You know, you can stay focused. People say naysayer things, oh, you're not going to get well or whatever. That was one woman's story. She got rid of the doctor and stayed with the positive, which is an outward side of it. But what I'm talking about too is just staying in the heart moment of hope. And it's an action step. It's an action step and a goal. It becomes a goal and it's heartful. The other type of hope that we often hope for is almost like good luck or something like that. Here's hoping this is going to work out. And that is the intellectual aspect of hope. And hope certainly has an intellectual aspect in Western culture. What I have started to think is, and there was some articles, because I've been doing some work on reading about it, and there's been some articles about hope. It just sets people up, you know, it sets people up and allows them to be abused and blah, blah, blah. I don't believe that's what the true essence of hope is. I believe that there is that situation that they call hope, and that is, I hope things will get better. And hoping is not necessarily an action step. More, it's putting yourself in a situation where you aren't allowed to have the steps to move forward. And most of us know that that's a mental conditioning, that in fact there's always some steps we can move forward on to make our life more healthy and whole. So I started realizing that hope is really just a way to talk about hopelessness, or that you don't have options but to hang in there against all odds or whatever. And that to me, is a way of saying it's okay with what's going on around you, but move to the future, live in the future. And that kind of hope is not necessarily have positive outcomes. It sets it up to be hapless in your situation. So going back into the world of true hope is a vehicle where you stay focused and in your heart and you move forward. It's an action step. It's visceral. When you have the intellectual hope, there's a part of it that gives you permission not to do anything, to step aside and watch. You know, an example, I hope racial prejudice and people's interaction will change. Well, hoping for that that will not make those changes. You will make those changes. You will make those changes by your own heart, by being open and all of that. And that to me is an intellectual way to skirt an issue. But true hope more is, this woman was really quite ill and with cancer, and I don't know what happened to her, but she stayed with the notion of wellness and wanted that and wanted people around her that would support that goal for her. Now that to me is hope in action. It's not being helpless or a victim, rather it's being forthright and directed. So and I'm interested, and it's interesting because, also, and I'm starting to talk too much maybe, also another aspect is hope is so human. We're interacting all the time, we're hoping for the best, we're doing all those things. And when we do that, we're living life in a way that allows us to be in life more. I think that makes sense. It's like doing a patchwork quilt when you're interacting with people a lot. And that's the hope aspect. So people say, don't give up hope. I'm saying, get in your heart and be blessed and move forward, knowing that hope is God-given. Take care.